All right, let's talk about an unusual subject. It's about telling the truth, and it's about telling the truth to a friend. Now, let's put this out there. You have a friend, right, who you've known for a while, and they are, every time you see them, they're kind of, losing control and going a little bit getting overweight, right? Let's just say it. What do you think? Should you tell your friend about it? Should you say, hey, I'm a little bit worried about you, like it looks like you've been putting on some weight. Now, how do you have that conversation? I don't know. But are you your friend that, let's put it both ways. If you were the one, and I could probably put myself in this boat, would I appreciate if someone said, hey, you're overweight or you're getting overweight? I probably wouldn't like it because it's true. And when you tell someone what is true, it probably hurts your feelings. But I wouldn't probably be mad at the person saying it. Maybe for the first 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, how dare they say it and how rude are they? But after that, I'm like, you know what? They're probably onto something, right? And it probably takes more courage to say that than not to say it. Unless you're doing it in an insulting way, which, that's not really the topic. It's like telling a friend that you care about or someone you care about, telling them that they're overweight, right? So in that boat, if I was the recipient of that news or that message, I would feel like I appreciated them sharing with me. And sometimes when you hear it from someone else, it lights that match under your butt that you needed, right? Now, other way around, would you tell your friend that they're, becoming overweight? It's almost like the waiter that comes to your table and says, how is the food? And maybe you don't like it. Maybe you look at the price and you're paying X dollars and you're like, I was expecting more. I was hoping for more. And, that's what you're telling them, your wife or your spouse or your friend, this place is not good, or, like for $80 for this and it wasn't worth it. And then the waiter comes and says, hey, how's the food? How many people actually say it's not good, right? I don't know if anyone does, right? Very few people do. Most people would be in the boat of like, yeah, it's good, right? Just don't want to be rude. So what do you tell your friend? What do you tell your friend that's becoming overweight? And I hope no one's watching today thinking that I'm talking about them. I'm not. I'm just talking about truth and being able to tell the truth. It's something I struggled with earlier in my career, but I think I've gotten better, and I see it every day where people struggle so much to tell people that this is not good, or I need help here, or that wasn't good, or I need, this is pretty sloppy, buddy. They can't say that. They have to always say good things. They always have to say the nice thing, right? And I have a problem with that. Not that it's an easy problem to overcome, but I think, companies can't move forward. People can't move forward if you're always telling them what they want to hear. That's what the subject is today. The subject today is telling the truth, telling someone that is something that they don't want to hear, the benefits of it. Is this something you would do? Should you tell your friend that they're becoming overweight? I think it matters on the type of friend and how important that friendship is. Probably more important than that. Could your friendship withstand that? I've had close friends where I said, hey, that's a pretty ugly jacket, right? I think that's easier when you're talking about clothing and something they can change, or they're not wearing every day. But when it comes to their skin and telling them to their face, not in a rude way, but in a helpful way. And I know what people out there probably thinking well, obviously they look at themselves in the mirror every day, and they why do you have to go there and tell them that too? But again, I said earlier that I think sometimes people want to. I think some people need that little spark, right? Sometimes I've said something to people, not about their weight, but about something, different things, and when I said it, they appreciated it because it's like they probably thought of it, but no one actually took the time to say it, or had the courage to say it. And when you say it to them, it's like, that's all I was really waiting for someone else to validate what I was thinking all along, right? So if if you do have something to say to a friend or colleague that might not be difficult, I would encourage you to do it. I think, obviously do it in a respectful way, show some humility, show your humanness, show them that you care. And I think you should do it. And what I found, because I struggled with this for a long, long time, I would say I've gotten better at it the last 5 to 7 years, where I am comfortable to tell people the straight goods, right? I almost probably go overboard and tell them too quickly and abruptly and directly. And I feel sad that I shouldn't have said that. It hurt their feeling, but I'm still happy that I went through it and told them. And I think they are too. So my last point on this is, because I've had a lot of experience telling people, just because of my certain position, that I needed to, give feedback, and the feedback that I gave, because I had a direct say in their compensation, and I couldn't justify giving people raises, unless they produce good things. So, I have to tell people when they're doing well or not doing well, and it's not comfortable. And I strongly recommend you do it. I think you should tell people. The point I wanted to make was, you'd be surprised. You would think that most times you say something negative to someone, constructive criticism, right? Not insulting people, constructive criticism. You would think that they are going to be mad. They're going to you can envision in your head, I'm going to go tomorrow, I'm going to say this to so-and-so, and there's going to be this big fight, and they're going to yell at the office, or we're going to start yelling and screaming, and, maybe get into a, physical altercation. So that's the way you're thinking. And every single time I've done this, probably I don't recall a time when it was met with like a fight back, right? And every time I felt sad, every single time it felt sad to me, right? I would think about it half the day, all day, for a couple of days. And it felt sad or embarrassing to the other person. Not intentionally, but that's just the message. But really, it's not as difficult as it might seem. And the reaction was always like silence and, oh, okay, right? Never like, how dare you say that? How can you, like, it's never that. It's almost always very, very embracing. Like they do embrace that feedback. They do embrace your thoughts, right? Some people deny it, right? That's just the reality. And I don't think you should back off when you say something and they're denying it and they're giving you 2 excuses, 2 reasons, and then you believe it. Don't back off, and don't be like, badgering them and harassing them, but don't take your message back. Like, if it is, about overweight, or not, say your productivity has gone down. I'm worried about you. You've been, sloppy and making a lot of mistakes. Oh, it's just, I'm, having bad sleep, and I'm getting this, and I'm having a fight with my spouse or whatever. I probably, if it was temporary, you probably wouldn't have said it, because if someone's earned that goodwill, you probably would have given them the benefit of the doubt. But in a case where, they've been working for a long time, and all of a sudden, for a period of time, an extended period of time, quality is going down. Is this the real self? Is this the real them, right? And, you're not going to just, first time they make a mistake, you're going to jump on them. No, right? But when you see it, a consistent period of time, consistent pattern, and then after a period of time, it's like, hey, this is no longer a coincidence. There's something wrong here, right? Or you want to confront them directly. They're going to be, many times they're going to be in denial. They're going to say, no, this happened, that happened. I encourage you not to just take their word for it. Oh, okay, it could be, but just worried about you, or worried about the situation. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page and you're very clear. Or, hey, you know what, I've been worried about your weight. Like, look, you were in great shape. And I get it. Like, I've been there, and I'm not in good shape myself. But we should probably try a bit better in, are you worried about your health? Like, are you worried about, the impact that your, weight might have on your future? Yeah, I am. Like, there's different ways to doing it, but I think it's better to say the message and stick by it. Don't insult. But if you're doing it in a place of good intention, make it known it's for good intention, and people will feel it. People will know when you're trying to insult them and kick them when they're down, or it's genuine, like someone had to say it and it had to be me, right? So, all right, that's it. Thank you so much.